Have you ever wished you could just flip a switch in your mind and feel confident right now? Not tomorrow, not after years of practice, not after reading 10 books on self-esteem. I mean instantly. Imagine this. You're standing outside a door. Behind that door is the opportunity you've been waiting for. It could be an interview, a first date, a presentation, maybe even a performance. Your hands are sweaty, your heart is racing, and your brain, it's screaming at you with every insecurity you've ever carried. What if I'm not good enough? What if I mess this up? What if they laugh? Confidence disappears before you even walk in, and you feel trapped. But here's the secret most people don't realize. Your brain doesn't need hours, days, or years to feel confident. It can happen in seconds. And the trick is not what you think. Confidence doesn't start in your thoughts. It starts in your body. Right now, without saying a word, without even believing in yourself fully, you can trick your brain into confidence. And that trick is what I'm about to share with you. It's simple, it's fast, and it's backed by science. But before I reveal it, I want you to remember something important. You are not broken for feeling nervous. You are not weak for doubting yourself. Even the most successful, charismatic people you admire, actors, leaders, athletes, feel fear and insecurity. The difference is they've learned how to flip the switch, and so will you. Years ago, a young student was preparing for her dream job interview. She had studied for months, rehearsed her answers, even picked out the perfect outfit. But as the moment approached, her nerves took over. She started slouching in her chair, shrinking into herself. Her breathing grew shallow. Her mind spiraled into panic. Then, almost out of desperation, she tried something unusual. She stood up tall. She spread her arms wide as if she had just won a marathon. She held the posture for 2 minutes. Something incredible happened. Her heart rate slowed, her breathing deepened, and most importantly, her brain began to shift. When she walked into the interview, she wasn't trembling anymore. She carried herself like she belonged in the room, and she got the job. This might sound like luck or coincidence, but it's not. It's science, and it's something you can use right now. The brain hack I'm talking about is called power posture, a simple change in how you hold your body that tells your brain, I am confident, I am in control, I belong here. Here's the fascinating part. Your brain listens to your body more than it listens to your words. You could tell yourself, I'm confident, I'm confident, I'm confident, 100 times, and your brain might not buy it. But the moment you stand tall, shoulders back, chest open, chin lifted, your brain believes it. Why? Because your body is hardwired to send signals to your brain about your state of mind. When you curl into yourself, your brain reads it as danger, threat, weakness. But when you expand your posture, your brain interprets it as strength, safety, and power. It's like flipping an internal switch, and this switch changes your chemistry. Researchers found that holding a power posture for just 2 minutes increases testosterone, the hormone linked to confidence and assertiveness, and decreases cortisol, the hormone that fuels stress and anxiety. That's why the student in the story felt her nerves vanish. Her body literally reprogrammed her brain. Think about how wild that is. You don't need fancy techniques, years of therapy, or endless pep talks. You just need 2 minutes. Now let's bring this down to your everyday life. Think about the last time you felt insecure. Maybe you were about to raise your hand in class, or speak up in a meeting, or post something online you really cared about. Did your body shrink? Did you hunch your shoulders, cross your arms, or look down? That posture told your brain, I'm not safe, I should hide. And your brain listened. But what if instead you expanded? What if you opened up your chest, breathed deeper, and lifted your head? Your brain would instantly receive the opposite message. I'm safe, I'm strong, I belong here. And you'd feel the shift. Let me tell you another story. There was a young athlete preparing for a big competition. He wasn't the strongest or the fastest, but he had trained hard. The night before the race, doubt crushed him. He thought about every competitor who looked more powerful, every mistake he had made in practice, every reason he might fail. Then his coach pulled him aside and said something strange. Before you race, stand like a champion. Even if you don't feel like one yet, stand like it. Shoulders back, chest high, head steady. Your body will tell your mind what to believe. The athlete thought it was silly, but he tried it. He walked into the race with the posture of a winner. And though he didn't take first place, he broke his personal record. That moment changed everything. He realized confidence isn't about waiting to feel ready. It's about acting ready and letting the feelings follow. This is where so many people get it wrong. They think, once I feel confident, then I'll act confident. But psychology flips that around. You don't wait for the feeling. You create the feeling by acting first. Your body leads, your brain follows. Imagine a time you've been really happy, maybe laughing with friends, maybe dancing to your favorite song. How did your body look? Probably open, relaxed, expansive. Now imagine a time you were deeply sad. Your shoulders drooped, your head lowered. You closed yourself off. The posture didn't just reflect your feelings, it created them. This is called embodied cognition. It means your mind and body are not separate. They are one conversation. When you shift your body, you shift your mind. That's why the power posture hack works so quickly. It skips the endless mental chatter and goes straight to the source. Here's an exercise I want you to try right now. Wherever you are, straighten your back. Roll your shoulders back and down. Lift your chin slightly. Take a deep breath in and hold this position for just a moment. Do you feel it? That subtle change inside? That's your brain responding to your body's command. Now imagine doing this before every important moment in your life. Before speaking up, before walking into a room, before making a decision. You would enter each moment with a different energy, and that energy changes how people see you. Because here's another truth. Confidence is contagious. When you carry yourself with strength, others pick up on it. They respect it. They trust it. They even mirror it back to you. Think about the last time you met someone who seemed confident. They weren't necessarily the smartest person in the room. They weren't perfect, but something about the way they stood, the way they moved, made you believe in them. That's the power of posture. And here's the best part. Anyone can do it. It doesn't matter if you're shy, introverted, or full of self-doubt. The moment you shift your body, you change your story. Now you might be wondering, does this mean all I need to do is stand tall and suddenly my whole life will change? Of course not. Confidence is a skill, and like any skill, it grows with practice. But this brain hack gives you the spark. It gives you the instant boost you need to step into the moment. And when you repeat it again and again, it becomes a habit, a new default. Imagine living every day with that default. Walking into rooms not with fear, but with presence. Speaking not with hesitation, but with steady confidence. Facing challenges not with shrinking doubt, but with expanded strength. This isn't about faking it. It's about unlocking what's already inside you. Because deep down, you are capable. You are strong. You are worthy of confidence. Sometimes you just need your body to remind your brain of the truth. Let's make this even more practical. Say you're about to give a presentation. Instead of pacing nervously, looking at your notes, and shrinking into yourself, take 2 minutes before you start. Find a private space if you can. Stand tall. Spread your arms out if possible. Breathe deeply. Let your body expand. Hold it. Then walk in with that energy. You'll feel different, and your audience will feel it too. Or maybe you're about to approach someone you admire. Instead of letting your nerves make you small, pause. Roll your shoulders back. Lift your head. Step forward with grounded confidence. You don't have to say anything yet. Just let your posture speak for you. That's the hack. It's so simple that most people dismiss it, but the few who use it transform. Now let's dive deeper into why this works so well. When you expand your body, you're not just shifting hormones. You're sending signals to your nervous system. You're activating the parasympathetic branch, which calms you down. You're widening your breathing space, which increases oxygen flow to your brain. You're literally giving your body the physical cues of safety and power. And safety is where confidence lives. Because confidence isn't the absence of fear. It's the ability to act despite fear. And your body helps you do that. Here's a fascinating fact. Studies show that even blind people who have never seen a victory pose in their lives naturally raise their arms in triumph when they win something. It's instinct. It's human. Your body knows what confidence looks like. All you have to do is step into it. So here's my challenge for you. For the next week, practice this brain hack every single day, not just when you're nervous, but as a ritual. In the morning, before you leave your house, strike your power posture, hold it for 2 minutes, breathe deeply, and notice how it sets the tone for your day. Over time, this won't just be something you do before big moments. It will become who you are. Confidence will stop being something you chase. It will become something you live. And that is how one small change rewires your entire identity. Confidence will stop being something you chase. It will become something you live. And that is how one small change rewires your entire identity. But let's be real. Some of you might be thinking, that sounds great, but what if I try it and I still feel nervous? What if I stand tall, breathe deep, and my brain doesn't buy it? That's a fair question. Here's the truth. You will still feel nervous sometimes. You will still doubt yourself sometimes. Even the most confident people in the world feel that. The difference is they don't let the feeling control them. They use their body to guide their brain in the right direction. Imagine a pilot flying through turbulence. The plane shakes, the alarms go off, and fear kicks in. But the pilot doesn't wait to feel calm before taking control. He acts calm. He steadies his hands, adjusts the controls, and guides the plane. And soon the feeling follows the action. That's what you're doing with this hack. You're guiding your brain through the turbulence of self-doubt. You're not pretending everything is perfect. You're reminding your brain, I'm safe, I'm capable, I can handle this. And your brain listens. Now let me share a powerful story of how this works in the real world. There was a young lawyer who had to argue her first case in court. She was brilliant, hardworking, and prepared, but she had one problem: crippling stage fright. The thought of standing in front of the judge and speaking made her knees shake. She confided in her mentor, who told her about the power posture technique. At first, she laughed. How could standing differently make her smarter or calmer? But the mentor insisted. So before her big day in court, she found a quiet corner, stood tall, opened her chest, and breathed deeply for 2 minutes. When she walked into the courtroom, something shifted. Did she still feel nervous? Yes. But instead of collapsing into the nerves, she carried herself with presence. Her voice steadied, her words flowed. And when the case was over, the judge even complimented her confidence. That moment didn't just help her win the case, it changed the way she saw herself. She realized confidence wasn't something you either had or didn't have. It was something you could generate in the moment through action. That realization is life-changing. Because think about how many opportunities you might have lost, not because you weren't capable, but because you didn't feel confident enough to show up fully. How many times have you stayed silent in a meeting, even though you had a good idea? How many times have you avoided talking to someone you liked out of fear of rejection? How many times have you downplayed your strengths because you didn't want to look arrogant? These small moments add up, and they shape the story you tell yourself about who you are. But when you use this brain hack, you start rewriting that story. You stop waiting for permission. You stop shrinking. You begin stepping into the version of yourself that was always there, hidden under layers of fear. And the more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. Soon you won't even think about it. You'll simply walk, talk, and move like someone who knows their worth, and people will notice. Because here's the thing, confidence isn't about being loud or flashy, it's about presence. It's about the quiet strength that says, I know who I am, I know what I bring, and I don't need to prove it to anyone. That kind of confidence draws people in. It makes them want to listen, to trust, to follow. And it starts with something as simple as how you hold yourself. Now let's get deeper into the psychology behind why posture affects confidence. Your brain has something called mirror neurons. These are special cells that fire not only when you do something, but also when you see someone else do it. That's why when you watch someone smile, you feel happier. Or when you see someone yawn, you yawn too. Mirror neurons are the reason emotions are contagious. So when you carry yourself with confidence, not only does your brain believe it, but the brains of the people around you pick up on it too. They mirror your energy. That's why leaders who walk into a room with calm strength instantly change the atmosphere. That's why performers who own the stage captivate the crowd before they even speak. Their posture communicates safety and authority, and everyone else's brain responds. And here's something even more fascinating. Your own mirror neurons respond to your posture too. When you see yourself in a confident stance, even in a mirror, your brain reinforces that state. That's why athletes visualize their wins, why actors rehearse in costume, why speakers practice on stage. They're training not just their skills, but their body's story to the brain. You can do the same. Next time you look in the mirror, notice how you're standing. Are your shoulders slumped? Is your head down? Or are you standing like someone you'd admire? Practice holding yourself as the confident version of you. Watch how quickly your brain adapts. Now let's talk about another layer. Breathing. Posture and breath are inseparable. When you slouch, your lungs compress, your breath becomes shallow, and your brain gets less oxygen. Shallow breathing tells your nervous system, danger, stress, panic. But when you expand your chest, open your posture, and breathe deeply, you flood your brain with oxygen. You calm your nervous system. You send the message, safe, steady, powerful. That's why deep breathing is often paired with power posture. Together, they create a rapid shift in your state. Try this. Stand tall, place your hand on your chest, and take 3 slow breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. As you exhale, imagine you're letting go of tension, doubt, and fear. As you inhale, imagine you're drawing in strength, calm, and certainty. By the 3rd breath, notice how different you feel. It's subtle, but it's real. And the more you repeat it, the stronger the effect becomes. You see, your brain is like clay. It reshapes itself based on your habits. The scientific term is neuroplasticity. Every time you choose to act confident, even when you don't feel it, you're carving new pathways in your brain. You're teaching your mind, this is who I am now. And over time, those pathways become stronger than the old ones. The self-doubt weakens. The confidence grows. This is why small daily practices matter so much. They're not just tricks, they're training. You're rewiring your identity at a biological level. Let me give you an example from history. Think about soldiers in training. When they first arrive, many of them are scared, unsure, and lacking confidence. But what's the first thing the military teaches them? How to stand, how to march, how to hold themselves with discipline. Why? Because the body leads the mind. When soldiers learn to carry themselves with strength, their brains begin to internalize strength. They stop seeing themselves as scared individuals and start seeing themselves as capable warriors. The posture builds the mindset, and the mindset builds the courage. You don't need to be in the military to apply this. Every day, you can train yourself the same way. By choosing to hold yourself differently, you change the way you see yourself. And once you see yourself differently, the world follows. Because here's another truth. People treat you based on the signals you send. If you walk into a room hunched over, avoiding eye contact, people assume you lack confidence. They may overlook you, but if you walk in with presence, even if you're new, even if you're nervous, people take notice. They respect you more. They listen more. And that external feedback reinforces your internal confidence. It becomes a cycle. Your posture changes your brain. Your brain changes your actions. Your actions change how people respond. And their response strengthens your confidence. That's why this hack is so powerful. It sets off a ripple effect that touches every part of your life. But there's something I need to warn you about. Confidence is not arrogance. Power posture is not about puffing yourself up, acting superior, or trying to dominate others. True confidence is grounded. It's calm. It doesn't shout. It doesn't beg. It doesn't fake. It simply says, I belong here, and so do you. People can sense the difference. Arrogance repels. Confidence attracts. Arrogance says, I'm better than you. Confidence says, I'm secure in myself, and I respect you too. When you practice this hack, keep that distinction in mind. You're not pretending to be more than you are. You're simply reminding yourself of who you already are. Capable, valuable, enough. And that kind of confidence is magnetic. So now let's talk about how you can start making this part of your life every single day. The first step is awareness. Notice your posture throughout the day. Are you slouching at your desk? Are you crossing your arms in conversations? Are you shrinking when you feel nervous? Catch yourself in those moments. Don't judge yourself, just notice. Then make the shift. Roll your shoulders back, lift your head, take a deep breath, expand. Do it again and again until it becomes automatic. The second step is ritual. Create moments in your day where you intentionally practice power posture. In the morning, before you leave home, before important calls, before social events, before you step on stage. Build it into your routine, like brushing your teeth. It only takes 2 minutes, but it rewires your whole system. The third step is reflection. After you practice, notice how it changes your interactions. Did people respond differently? Did you feel more grounded? Did you take actions you normally avoid? Write it down. Track the shifts. This will prove to you, over time, that the hack works. And once you see it working, you'll never want to stop. Because here's the truth. Confidence is not a destination. It's a daily practice. And the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Because here's the truth. Confidence is not a destination. It's a daily practice. And the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Over time, people will start to describe you differently. They'll say things like, "You seem so confident now," or "You carry yourself differently." And you'll realize it's not because you magically became someone else. It's because you finally let the real you show up. The version of you that was always capable, but hidden under layers of fear and doubt. Let me share another powerful example. A college student named Daniel struggled with social anxiety. He avoided parties, group discussions, even simple conversations with classmates. He thought he was just shy and destined to always feel that way. But then he learned about this brain hack. At first he was skeptical. How could standing tall possibly fix years of insecurity? But he decided to try. Before walking into class, he practiced power posture. Before speaking in a group, he took 2 minutes to breathe deeply, shoulders back, chest open. Slowly something shifted. He started speaking up more. He began making eye contact. People started including him in conversations. Over time, his entire identity changed. He no longer thought of himself as the shy kid. He saw himself as someone who could connect, speak, and belong. And it all started with a simple shift in posture. That's the beauty of this hack. It doesn't just change how others see you, it changes how you see yourself. And once you see yourself differently, everything else changes. Here's something interesting. Psychologists often say confidence comes from competence, meaning the more skilled you are, the more confident you feel. That's true. But what most people miss is this. You need confidence first to even practice and build competence. Without confidence, you won't try. Without trying, you won't grow. That's where this hack fills the gap. It gives you the instant courage to take the first step. And once you take that step, you gain experience. That experience builds competence. And that competence builds deeper confidence. It's a cycle. And it all starts with acting confident, even before you feel it. Let's break this down in a way you'll never forget. Think of confidence like fire. Competence is the wood. It's what keeps the fire burning strong in the long run. But posture, the way you carry yourself, that's the spark. Without the spark, the fire never starts. But once you have both, the fire grows unstoppable. You already have wood, your skills, your talents, your knowledge. You just need the spark. That spark is in your posture. It's in the way you walk into a room, the way you breathe, the way you hold yourself. And once you strike that spark, you ignite everything else. Now I want you to imagine your future self, the version of you 5 years from now who has mastered this practice. Picture how they walk into a room. Notice the calm strength in their eyes. Notice how people turn to listen when they speak. Notice the opportunities that come to them because they no longer hesitate. That version of you exists. And the path to becoming them starts with something as simple as how you sit, stand, and breathe today. Every time you practice this hack, you're stepping closer to that future. And one day you'll look back and realize this small daily choice completely reshaped your life. Let's talk about relationships for a moment. Confidence doesn't just help in interviews or presentations. It transforms how you connect with others. Think about attraction. People aren't drawn to perfection, they're drawn to presence. When you carry yourself with confidence, you give off a silent signal. I value myself. I am comfortable in my skin. And that signal is magnetic. It makes people feel safe around you. It makes them want to be near you. The same applies to friendships, family, even strangers. When you walk with confidence, you invite connection. You create trust without saying a word. That's why leaders, mentors, and role models all seem to have this aura about them. It's not about being flawless, it's about embodying certainty, and you can do the same. Now, I want to address a common fear. Some people worry that if they act confident, they're being fake. But that's not true. Faking is pretending to be something you're not. This hack is different. It's reminding yourself of what you already are but forgot. You were born with the instinct of confidence. Watch a child playing, running, laughing. They don't second guess if they deserve to take up space. They don't slouch because they think others will judge them. They stand, they jump, they stretch their arms wide without fear. That was you once. That energy is still inside you. Life just taught you to shrink, to hide, to doubt. This brain hack is simply bringing you back home, to the confidence that was always yours. And the more you practice, the more natural it feels. Soon you won't even think of it as a hack. It will just be your way of being. Let me share a little trick to make this even more powerful. Pair your posture with a mantra. For example, as you stand tall, say to yourself, I belong here, or I am enough, or I am ready. The combination of posture, breath, and words creates a triple signal to your brain. Body, mind, and voice, all in sync. The more senses you engage, the faster your brain rewires. So don't just stand tall and speak life into yourself. Whisper it if you must, but let your brain hear the message, because repetition carves belief. Now here's the final piece of the puzzle. Consistency. Doing this once will give you a boost. Doing it daily will transform you. Just like going to the gym once won't make you strong, but training regularly will reshape your body. Power posture is the gym for your confidence. Practice it and your inner world will change. And when your inner world changes, your outer world follows. You'll find yourself saying yes to opportunities you once avoided. You'll find yourself speaking up where you once stayed silent. You'll find yourself walking into rooms that once intimidated you and realizing you belong. This is how small choices build big lives. So here's my challenge to you. Starting today, commit to practicing this brain hack for the next 30 days. Every morning, before you face the world, take 2 minutes. Stand tall, shoulders back, chest open, breathe deeply, say your mantra, and step into your day like the most confident version of yourself. Track the changes. Notice the subtle shifts. Notice how people respond differently. Notice how your decisions change. By the end of 30 days, you won't just feel more confident. You'll be living as a different person, a person who doesn't wait for permission, a person who doesn't shrink in fear, a person who knows their worth and shows it. And once you cross that threshold, there's no going back, because you'll have discovered the truth. Confidence was never something outside of you. It was always within you, waiting for you to access it. And now you have the key. So remember this. You don't have to wait years to feel confident. You don't have to wait until you're perfect. You don't have to wait until fear disappears. You can create confidence instantly with your body, with your breath, with your presence. The world responds to the way you carry yourself. So carry yourself like someone who belongs. Carry yourself like someone who matters. Carry yourself like the person you were always meant to be. And watch how your life transforms. You have the power to choose confidence. Right here, right now. So take a deep breath, lift your head, roll your shoulders back, smile, and step into your future with strength. Because you are ready. You always were. And the world is waiting for you to show up.